This morning on DC News Now, Maryland neighbors cleaning up after a powerful storm. Breezy conditions expected to stick around to start the week. A DC police officer struck by an ATV over the weekend. The latest on the search for the suspect. Voice of America on the chopping block. The new orders gutting the government's news agency. A shutdown averted, but DC's funding fight far from over.
All this bill does is to continue to ensure that DC receives what it is owed.
The district's budget now in the hands of the House. Plus, March Madness begins. We're breaking down all the DMV teams playing on this year's NCAA tournament.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Well, good morning, and thanks for starting your Monday with us here on DC News Now at 8 o'clock. I'm Tanaya Wright.
Good morning to you. I'm Corey James. We'll check in with Shanika in just a second. Let's start things off with meteorologist Brittany Ward today. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, it was definitely a wet start to our day. We also dealt with some patchy fog, but now we're starting to see those drier conditions across the area. Satellite and radar showed you Lexington Park earlier this morning. You guys saw some light sprinkles, but again, we are drying out across the entire DMV, hanging on to a few clouds. You can see that cloud deck making its way there along 95, along the Beltway, but back off to the north and the west. We are starting to see a clearing of our skies, and those clouds will begin to break apart as we head through the rest of your day today. Temperature wise, not looking bad. We are sitting at 54 degrees right now in DC, 55 as you head over there to Fredericksburg, Virginia. So keep it here. We'll break down this forecast up next. Shanika?
All right, thank you, Brittany. Well, top of the 8 o'clock hour. So if you are planning your trip this morning, just take note. Washington County, you will see this one problem here. This is 81 heading southbound right near 70. You can see a lot going on here. You're able to get by the left, but pretty slowly. So let's look at your map so we can see some of that congestion out there. 81 heading southbound right near 70 is where that one problem is. Also, we had another problem, 70 heading east. That was right near Maryland 65. That crash should be gone, but you are seeing some delays on 70 through Boonesboro heading eastbound. That's going to slow things down for commuters. Middletown is going to be a bit slow. 270, you're going to see some slow spots, but overall, you can see your Capital Beltway starting to really slow down a lot through Montgomery County, past 650 New Hampshire Avenue, the outer loop, and then through Glenarden. You can see heading both north and southbound on 495. It is going to be a slow one, guys.
All right, Shanika, thank you. Time right now, 8:02 in Maryland. Officials say downed trees and power outages are in several places, including Montgomery County, after yesterday's storms. Officials shut down River Road after a tree fell on top of a car in Potomac. One person was injured, but we're told they are expected to be okay. Officials also say another tree fell on Hillcrest Place near Beechwood Drive in Chevy Chase. And not too far from that location, a power pole fell and snapped several power lines. Pepco says less than 10 people are without power at this time.
And DC police investigating after they say a man was shot and killed in Southeast. This happened yesterday afternoon on Chaplin Street, right near Davis Elementary School. Now, that victim was taken to the hospital where he died. No word on any suspect, and the investigation is ongoing. And staying in DC, a man is recovering after being stabbed just after midnight in Southeast. This happened on F Street near Fletcher Johnson Middle School. The victim is expected to be okay. Police have not identified a suspect.
A D.C. police officer making a full recovery after being hit by an ATV in Northwest. Police say it happened Saturday night on 15th and U Street. We're told the driver of the ATV left the scene. Right now, officials are searching for the blue and black ATV. A detailed description of the driver is not known at this time, but if you have any information, call police.
And the FAA will now permanently ban helicopters from flying the same route near DCA where a Black Hawk and American Airlines plane collided back in January. That crash killed 67 people. Federal investigators say the helicopter path had a string of near misses in recent years, showing it posed an intolerable risk. He talked to a former pilot and transportation analyst about the change. Justin Russell says moving this route is just part of the solution.
The problem is that we have we're putting more and more flights going into DCA. We're taking controllers out of the tower. We're not staffing the tower to its maximum level. You put those into the mix and it becomes a real issue.
Now, the FAA order will allow few exceptions for presidential flights, law enforcement, and life-saving missions. The agency says it's going to continue to study other airports that have different aircraft sharing the same space, including BWI. Happening now, concerns continue as D.C. leaders await a vote from the U.S. House of Representatives on the district's spending budget.
Yeah, this comes after the Senate passed a resolution avoiding a shutdown Friday night. D.C. News Now's Jean-Marie Sasay is live this morning with the latest and the uncertainty the district is still facing. Jean-Marie.
Yeah, that budget passed Friday, and not included in that amendment was allowing D.C. to be able to use funds from their 2025 budget. But the Senate actually advanced a special, a special separate bill that will allow the district to be able to continue using that 2025 budget funds. Now, the district faces a potential $1 billion deficit if that new legislation does not pass in the House. Now, as previously reported, any deficit of that size would impact funding from schools, emergency response, public safety, and more. And now the House has to vote on that amendment, but unfortunately, they are on recess until next Monday.
The issue here is just allowing the D.C. government to proceed to spend its own tax revenues.
You know, we all want, as the president wants our nation's capital to be the safest, cleanest, most welcoming city.
Now, on Friday, in a statement, Mayor Muriel Bowser said in part, as we continue working with the House of Representatives on final passage to ensure critical services provided in the nation's capital aren't hazardly cut in the middle of the fiscal year. We work toward final passage. We will continue to work shoulder to shoulder with the D.C. Council, Chief Financial Officer, and Attorney General to meet our obligations, provide services, and invest in our growth. Now, at noon today, we do expect to hear from Mayor Muriel Bowser on the negotiation and next steps surrounding this spending bill. Now, reporting in Northeast D.C., I'm Jean-Marie Sasay, DC News Now.
All right, Jean-Marie, thank you. Time right now, 8:06, developing now the Trump administration transferring hundreds of immigrants to El Salvador, despite a federal judge issuing a temporary restraining order on Trump's declaration targeting Venezuelan gang members. A D.C. judge issued that 14-day restraining order Saturday night. It happened right after the president invoked the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. But lawyers tell the judge there were already 2 planes with immigrants in the air. The Aliens Immigrants Act allows the president broader leeway and executive power to crack down on the undocumented immigrants. The last time this act was used was back in World War II when Japanese Americans were placed into concentration camps. And protests in Northern Virginia against the recent ICE arrests in the area. Many at a county board meeting Saturday asking lawmakers to remove what they say is a loophole in the county's trust policy that allows local police to work with ICE agents. Organizers say they want local leaders to protect those who live in the area.
I mean, what we want to see is Arlington County board members taking immediate action to expand protections under the county policy, right? Removing Section 7 of what they call the Trust Act, which is the loophole that allows the police department to keep collaborating with ICE. And they should also expand that to also protect people from Virginia State Police.
Organizers say the group is not backing down until ICE agents are out of Arlington. And 2 federal judges now ruling tens of thousands of fire probationary federal workers must be rehired, but we're learning some of them have still not heard from their managers yet.
That is right. It has left a lot of people confused and wondering if they even want to go back, considering this could just be temporary. Our Max Marcella spoke with a fired federal worker in Fredericksburg, Virginia.
It's a whirlwind, and it's kind of hard not to be glued to my phone.
In the weeks since Jonathan Curry was fired from the IRS, the fate of his job and those once held by thousands of civil servants has been up in the air. Protests took place outside several federal agencies, and courts were asked to rule on whether the firings of probationary workers were legal, which 2 federal judges said they weren't. Curry has been waiting for some sort of notice about what that ruling might mean for him, and so far he hasn't received it. He also doesn't have his work computer or his ID badge, and he's not exactly sure when an answer could come. He fears it could be some time before any sort of return to work, recalling the length of his onboarding a year ago.
It took me time to get my ID badge so I could have building access. Took time to get me a work laptop and then functioning access to the systems I needed access to.
And these are things that you had taken away when you lost your job.
Exactly.
But even when that gets sorted out, he and others are debating if they even want to go back.
You first hear that your job is being reinstated, you think, hooray, like I'll get my job back. Then realistically you think, what is that going to look like? And do I want to?
Curry says his IRS job was his dream job, but he's lost trust, not in his agency, but in the current administration.
I would certainly love to get back into public service at some point in my career, but I'm not sure I'd be very comfortable working under this current administration. They seem to be making a lot of really seismic shifts in how public service is treated and viewed. That would just create a lot of uncertainty for my family.
In Fredericksburg, Max Marcilla, DC News Now.
Thank you, Max. Well, the latest monthly inflation report shows egg prices are at a record high. Dozens of grade A eggs cost nearly $6 on average. That is up more than 10% from a year ago, but USDA has reported egg shortages are easing, meaning wholesale prices are dropping. And the National Park Service says the cherry blossoms have reached stage 2 of 6. That is when the tree's florets are visible. The blooms are set to reach peak bloom by the end of next week. Meantime, we are 3 days away from the start of the Cherry Blossom Festival, which falls on the first day of spring. For more information, visit our website, dcnewsnow.com. All right, 8:10 on a Monday. Are you ready for March Madness?
What you need to know about the DMV teams on the bracket and when you can watch their first games. Plus, ringing in your ears, it can be quite annoying. We're going to tell you what an audiologist says you can do to reduce symptoms.
But first, we are taking a live look outside. Brittany, what can people expect when they step out other than a bit of a cloudy, breezy start to the day?
Yeah, I was about to say clouds and breezy conditions. That will be the trend as we head through the morning. At least we're seeing those dry conditions. That will be the trend as we head through the rest of your St. Paddy's Day. So keep it here. We'll talk more about that forecast up next.